So the officiating in the NBA couldn't have chosen a worser time to start acting up more than now, with the gambling and just the influx of money coming in, the league being in bed with those companies. And I'm gonna get to this breakdown of how much money is being made state by state. But right now, the league, even the shitty teams, you got the coaches bitching. Like, this is crazy. This is unprecedented. I've never seen this before. The great teams, you got the coaches complaining. You got the teams in the middle, the coaches are complaining. And the teams that have no expectations. This shit is crazy. Let's first hear from the Detroit Pistons coach, Monty Williams, as he believed that they were in the wrong in the very last play of the game. But by the time the 2-minute report came out, it kind of came into light that the refs end up missing 2 critical calls that would have put the Knicks in a completely different situation in which they would have had the advantage. But let's look at Coach Monty Williams complain about a situation in which he shouldn't even been in a position to win the game.
Where's the New York media now? The absolute worst call of the season. No call. And enough's enough. We've done it the right way. We've called the league. We've sent in clips. We're sick of hearing the same stuff over and over again. We had a chance to win the game, and the guy dove into Asar's legs, and there was a no call. That's an abomination. You cannot miss that in an NBA game, period. And I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of our guys asking me, what more can we do, coach? That situation is exhibit A to what we've been dealing with all season long, and enough's enough. You cannot dive into a guy's legs in a big-time game like that and there be a no call. It's ridiculous, and we're tired of it. We just want a fair game called, period. And I got nothing else to say. We want a fair game, and that was not fair. I'm done.
Damn, he just walked away like a woman with a scorned heart, man. Jesus. What really was an abomination was the missed 3-second call in which Jalen Duren was in the paint for the whole Knicks offensive possession with the official standing right in front of him. Once again, the officiating in the NBA has chosen a very unique time where the outcomes of these games are being questioned, especially with the influx of gambling money coming in. Let's take a look at Taylor Jenkins, coach of the Grizzlies, another fucking team with no expectations, complain about the officiating.
Sure, saddle up. One of the most poorly officiated games I've ever seen, recorded, I'm fine with it. Fucking atrocious. Plays 23 minutes and is in the paint all night. He's one of the most professional players in this league and gets a double technical foul. And the excuse I get is that he's charging at an official. It's called de-escalation. 29 free throws to 13, and I'm not that coach. You can go back into history, I've done this one other time. Our team is competing their asses off. Competing their asses off. And this is what happens. The interactions right now with the officials, complete disrespect. I know what's coming. It's unbelievable the looks on the faces when I'm trying to engage in conversation to defend our guys that are busting their tail right now. Busting their tail. And Jaren Jackson's one of the most professional guys. And if you go watch the play, 2 possessions in a row, he gets hacked underneath the basket, 0 free throw attempts. I'm not trying to put a name on a jersey and this guy should earn these fouls and all that stuff. Watch the game. 29 free throws to basically like there was 7. And then at the end of the game, a few more added. I don't understand it when guys are competing their tails off. And we got stuff we can clean up. Sometimes we're grabbing, we're holding, and one's like, oh man, here. In the heat of the battle, when conversations are trying to be had, notice is trying to be made on things that are happening, and there's not the enforcement of it. It blows my mind. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Our guys are competing their tails off. We got to play better.
This right here is about the 5th complaint I've heard from a coach where they're pointing out things that are already in the rule book that's happening on the court, and it still does not even get addressed. And Coach Mike Brown even has stated the refs told him something different than what's on the rule book. There's something going on right now in the league with the fucking officiating and the way the rules are being interpreted. I mean, god damn, you got teams that are pretty much tanking and they're still complaining about the calls.
We got to coach better, we got to play better. But I don't get tonight whatsoever. Again, I'm going to go back to the interactions. Stern, nothing, stonewall, ignoring, and then you wonder why our guys are trying to compete. I don't get it. I look forward to watching the tape, getting responses to when I send clips in, all that stuff to see what should have happened. And you wonder why. Haven't done this most of my career, all that stuff, but I got to defend my guys when they're competing their tail off. And we're not trying to lose our heads. We're trying to go out and win basketball games and try to play better. It's as simple as that. We're trying to play better. We're trying to play better.
So with the officiating coming into question, and at the same time, as we all know, more states are coming into the sports betting industry, and the numbers are outrageous. Now is not a time for a league's integrity and just the outcomes to be questioned. I mean, just the amount of money that's being wagered. $19 billion in New York alone, New Jersey $11 billion, Illinois $11, Nevada $8, Pennsylvania $7, Ohio $7 billion, Arizona $6 billion, Virginia $5, Colorado $5, Massachusetts $4. Just overall, the U.S. sportsbook industry has increased about 44%, and that's with them receiving a bulk of their revenue from New York State, who end up gobbling about 51% in tax revenue. So despite all that, they're still eating well and have a 44% jump. And just the NFL season alone caused them to have a 22% increase, along with the NBA's television partner launching their own sportsbooks, ESPN Bet. So a lot of these things are intertwined, and just the league's officiating and just integrity of the game, these outcomes are just coming into question. Now couldn't be any more of a worse time for this shit to happen. And the transparency of these 2-minute reports is not helping. For us to think that the Pistons game should have ended one way, finding out in the 2-minute report all the missed calls that should have put the Knicks in a better advantage is crazy. And it's only a matter of time for one of these sports books to end up losing big time because of the officiating. But hey, we'll see how this plays out. It's still not stopping the money from flowing in. I'm curious, what would the breakdown be as far as the bets that are taking place with the NBA teams? What's the percentage of that total revenue pot? Because the NFL is eating a big portion of that, but the NBA is enjoying a nice revenue split with the gambling companies. But the officiating, man, it's got to be on point. This season it's been a mess so far. But we'll see how it plays out. So that's all I have for today. You fellas definitely hit up the mailbag with your questions. I'll feature it as a part of a segment on the show. And until next time, peace.